Sailor Moon here, Sailor Jupiter here. And today we're going to talk about, well, who made the better Sailor Moon dolls or the good Sailor Moon dolls. And I'm not talking about the current ones that are made by Bandai through figure art or figure craft or doll craft. I'm talking about who actually, made the good dolls back in the day. Yes, I'm talking about IRWIN, who's now iToys Inc. and Bandai. That's still Bandai, obviously. And from 1995 80 until 2080, of course, IRWIN and Bandai would both be commissioned or hired by Toei to make adventure dolls for Sailor Moon's English adaptation, both the Deke and Pioneer versions of it. Now, both doll makers both used the same molds in the beginning, and they did borrow each other's molds. So you could tell that in the early days there was the long-faced dolls, and then the more beautiful-faced dolls that came out later on. Now, there's always been an argument over who made the good dolls, who did better doll craft, IRWIN or Bandai. Now, some people are going to say that outside of the United States and Canada and the other English-speaking regions and countries, they'll say Bandai. But I'm talking about what Bandai and IRWIN made inside the English-speaking regions and countries, especially the United States and Canada and all the other sundry English-speaking countries and regions. Some people claim that IRWIN did a good job. Others say Bandai did a good job. But at the end of the day, I think it was both IRWIN and Bandai. What do you think, Sailor Jupiter? What do I think, Sailor Moon? I think it all depends on what you could afford. It all depends on what you prefer as well. IRWIN and Bandai, the dolls sold for the same amount of Weird Guild, regardless of what store you went to, or if it was Kmart, or it was Heels, or Ames, or with KB Toys, or whatever. So it didn't really matter. At that point, it was still expensive to find them regardless. So if you did, so the price was the same. The quality was pretty much the same. Since IRWIN and Bandai were both using each other's molds and borrowing things from each other during that time, it was hard to know what was the difference. The only way you knew if it was IRWIN or Bandai that made your doll is if you looked on the box. If you saw IRWIN toy on it, you knew it was IRWIN. If you saw Bandai, you knew it was Bandai. But beyond that, I actually think that both of them did a good job with their doll craft. Both of them did a good job, regardless of whoever the third-party contract that actually did the doll crafting. I actually think that at the end of the day, whoever actually did a good job. Now, a lot of people are going to complain and didn't like IRWIN toy for reasons, and some people are going to didn't like Bandai. Some liked IRWIN, some like IRWIN and Bandai, some like IRWIN, but not Bandai, like Bandai, not IRWIN. Now, a lot of people are going to keep on trying to change the underwarp and say, outside. Well, I'm talking about what IRWIN and Bandai both made inside the English-speaking regions and countries. What people from the United States and Canada and sundry other English-speaking regions and countries were getting as far as dolls were concerned. Back to you, Sailor Moon. Sure. Thank you, Sailor Jupiter. Anyway, at the end of the day, I think that IRWIN did a good job. So did Bandai. It just happens to be that more of the dolls that we have here tend to be more from IRWIN than from Bandai. But at the end of the day, they both did a good job. They both, tried their best to make dolls that represented the roles, the people, the humans, whatever you want to call them. And I think they did. Both of them were doing the long-faced dolls in the beginning. And then later on, the more beautiful dolls came out later on. Both of them were borrowing each other's molds, as I mentioned. So you can't. So at this point, nobody can argue that one side was making long and our face was making beautiful. They both were doing it at the same time. Now people are going to try to claim, are going to try to say that they're going to try to talk about the new dolls that Bandai has made through Dollcraft. But at the end of the day, it's the old ones I'm talking about, not the new ones, not the ones where you can change their face and their arms and their legs and all that stuff. I'm talking about ones where you could change the clothing, the footwear. You could either change, that stuff, and accessories. Yes, but you think. We're going to end this now. We got to end this now, Sailor Moon. Sure. Anyways, the point is, as I told Sailor Moon, we got to end this now, but tell me what you think. Do you think IRWIN did a good job, or do you think it was Bandai? And IRWIN, we think IRWIN and Bandai both did a good job with their doll craft, making dolls. Even though IRWIN Toy is now known as iToys Inc. since they were bought by another group. And Bandai is obviously still Bandai, even though, So at the end of the day, that is what it is. So that's it. We'll see you all later. Please let us know who you think did a better job, IRWIN or Bandai, or both. Sailor Moon, Sailor Jupiter, see you later.